So welcome to the Your Desired Success Foundation Mastermind. Our focus is around paying it forward with the golden rule, do unto others as you would have done unto you. So the angle of sharing our value as well as being open to receiving. When we're looking at the power of the mastermind, Napoleon Hill, world famous author of the book Think and Grow Rich, said it is the principle through which you may borrow and use the education, the experience, the influence, and perhaps the capital of other people in carrying out your own plans in life. It is the principle through which you can accomplish in 1 year more than you could accomplish without it in a lifetime if you depended entirely upon your own efforts for success. So just think about the power of the 7 of us people being together right now, holding that space, being able to share and give our value, our experience to help each other move forward. So we've all got our numbers, and Carly, you're going to be starting us off around the principles to set the foundation, please.
The purpose of the mastermind is to share our value and connect with like-minded people in order to create wealth in all areas of our lives.
We are here to inspire and challenge each other to reach and exceed goals.
Each member is committed to their own success, as well as the success of every member of the group.
Wolfgang, I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. We are committed to meeting in person or virtually for 1 hour every week.
We are present. There is no multitasking or distractions during the meetings.
We are collaborative. We listen without interrupting, lecturing, or judging.
We celebrate each other's successes without jealousy.
We are honest and participate by giving thoughtful feedback.
We are open and listen to different perspectives without being defensive or offering excuses.
Trust fellow members enough to share fully.
We are focused, but we also think it's important to have fun during meetings.
We are real and authentic. This is a no BS zone.
We allow ourselves to become completely aligned with each other and the high forces, one mind, one soul, one love.
Beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for setting the foundation there of the call, just so we're all clear on which angle we're all coming from. So today's topic is the purpose of us coming together. And I'm going to expand a little bit on that right now, because Napoleon Hill said it's the coordination of knowledge and effort in the spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. The coordination of knowledge and effort around a mastermind in a spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. Now then, I've got the book here, the world famous book, and in The Power of the Mastermind, chapter 10, Napoleon actually titled it as Gaining Power Through the Mastermind. So the mind, and it depends how we choose to look at the mind. Some of us view the mind as the brain. Some of us view the mind as the whole body. And maybe some of us view it as something external. But he said there, the mastermind may be defined as coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. Now then, I have had this strong urge to discuss this on this call in particular around this topic. And what I would really love to hear from is each of us in regards to one word. If you can sum it up into one word, what would it be that you feel your life at the moment is working towards achieving? Now, there is no judgment on what that word is or means to us from our side. It's what it means to you. So, for instance, the word that comes to mind for me is freedom. Now, freedom's going to mean a lot, and freedom's used a lot lately, but freedom to me means my ability to be present with myself, to not be interrupted, to be able to do what I want to do on a daily basis without having to do anything else that is pulling me away from my core values. It isn't about freedom of money. It isn't about any of that, although I accept that and I am open to receiving that. But it's about the ability for me to be present with who I am and aligned with my values, which I can do irrelevant of what finances are in my bank account. So that's what the word is for me. Freedom is my word. So anybody can have the same word, but I'd really like to challenge you on what it is that's coming up for you, and you can go in any order. Somebody's feeling confident and they're ready to go, please go for it. Go, Veronica.
Collaboration.
Would you like to expand slightly on that?
Well, that seems to be what's happening at the moment, and I knew that that was what I needed to work on personally, because a community I've always felt like community's been a value of mine, but when I actually did my values, it wasn't there. It was something that I've always wanted, but it was something that I never had, because I grew up, we were traveling. I went to 13 schools in my first 7 years, so I did not have community. I didn't have any strong connections, and I'm very quick to, I've got some friends that I've had since school, but I'm very quick to leave people behind. So the community hasn't really developed, and I finally feel like I'm getting that now. And yeah, connecting on a level with people that will be sustainable regardless of whether our interests stay the same or not. Mm-hmm. So that's what collaboration means for me. And we're working on things that are very similar. And it's something I've always needed to do to actually achieve my dream. And it's only really hit me probably while doing Noble Goblin, the conversations that I'm having with people, is that I've always felt like I did everything myself. And that's not true. There's always been other people contributing, but I always felt that I had to lead and do everything without asking for help. And I got very uncomfortable with that, knowing that that's not what I do. And actually being able to ask for help now is becoming a skill. So, yeah.
Beautiful, yeah. And the ability in asking for help is the opportunity for somebody else to give.
Exactly.
What a gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Who else? Diane? Well,
mine would be growth. For me, it's if I'm growing, it'll grow my self-confidence. It's the growth that I want to achieve will hopefully allow me to be able to give up my full-time work and be able to contribute more to society in a way that now meets my values and my needs and my goals. Yeah, so for me, and it's just that rediscovery of who I am, not the mother, not the wife, just me, and seeing where that can lead to, and what I can grow out of that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Growth. Powerful. Don't be shy. Let's go, Trudy. Yes.
The word that popped in my head was dreams.
Cool.
So yeah, call it dreams, call it goal setting. Dream sounds much better, that's what I like. And that's where I'm kind of stuck at the moment. I'm trying to dream, and it's like, what do I want though? Because I'm pretty happy with what I've got, but they say you can have more and you should have more. Not you should, but dream bigger.
And do you feel like when you say that around, you said you were stuck, and then you dream bigger, do you feel like there's a challenge there from a self-worth angle?
Yeah, that's self-worth's popped up. A lot of things have sort of popped up, I'm just like, do I work on paradigms? What do I work on to get, lift my vibration? There's a lot of things that I need to look at to get this unstuckness moving.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. And we're going to elaborate more on this afterwards. So I just want to know what the foundation is across the board. Awesome. Sammy?
For me, it's adventure. I embarked on a new journey, and I'm ready for the adventure and for the journey, and for the growth, the connections.
Fantastic. I actually thought you said at the beginning, Avenger. I thought, crikey, we got another Avengers coming. Happy days. Adventure. Fantastic. Awesome. Love it. Great. Yeah. Adventure. That's one of my highest values. I love that. Great. Thank you for sharing. Who else? Wolfgang.
Well, for me, it's uniteness. What I really like about this Noble Goldman, which you had at the beginning, the rules, the agreement. For me, it's like, you know, the biggest thing is like celebrating together. One win, it's like the win of everyone. It's not like one's win or hers win. It's everyone's win, and I really like that. And in this, I have dreams. There is energy without limits. So when I have this feeling with my wife, with my family, with people around me, there is actually no limit. And I like this feeling and these possibilities.
Yeah, beautiful. So powerful. Awesome.
What's the question again? I'm really tired. So can
Charlie,
you?
these questions flow through.
I'm sorry, but it went in and then I went into no mind. So go forth. Tell me again.
The questions flow through me, Carly. So the question was, what is the word that comes to mind that you're striving for? You feel is in flow for you. That word would come to mind. So I use freedom. We've got everybody else's words here. What comes to mind is if you could wrap up in one word.
Oh my God. I did sort of have collaborative. I wrote that down.
That's okay.
But really it's connection, which is still collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that connection from heaven to earth that no one can take away. And when we embody it, when we awaken it in us, even though it's already there, when we reawaken it, when we really work out who we really are and awaken it, the collaboration with others to support them to do the same is what my intention and journey is. So connection.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's actually my third highest value. So yeah, and it's really interesting as we've gone through that. So we've got as a group freedom, collaboration, growth, content. So we've got Rose and Neil, Lynette and Jody as well that have incorporated. In fact, Neil, you haven't shared yours yet, so I'd like to hear yours. So Veronica, collaboration, Diane, growth, Rosa, content, Trudy, dreams, Sammy, adventure, Lynette, commit, Jody, gratitude, Carly, connection, Wolfgang. Oh, hang on, Wolfgang. For some reason, yours didn't type out. Wolfgang. What was yours again, Wolfgang? Because it was a big word. You're on mute, buddy.
Uniteness.
Uniteness. That was it. Uniteness. Oh, what a word. So it's a big word with big presence, big energy. So when we look at and listen to them, I'm just going to go through them again. Collaboration, freedom, growth, content, dreams, adventure, commit, gratitude, connection, uniteness. What are we feeling as we're hearing those words coming from a group of people who are spread out all over the world? Some of us have never even physically touched with a big cuddle. What are we feeling as I'm saying those words? What's coming up?
Power. It feels really powerful. It feels like we can make a difference just from what we're doing here.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Do we feel like there is no coincidence as to us all being on this call right now? Do we feel like we're really connected?
I felt that it was very similar. It was very similar what we're all wanting, just like the different words, but we're all wanting the same sort of thing, to give back to people, to grow, to connect, to unite people that are like-minded.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was for me. Just, I'm in a group of like-mindedness people, which is what masterminds are about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a real warmth in it, like in all of those words, because it comes back to teamwork or connection or unity or a unified field, that we're all one, and there's a real warmth to that. And when there's a warmth, we unite.
Mm-hmm.
Or where there's teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely. Wolfgang, I see you're unmuted.
I have the feeling that embraces the whole humanity. In the core, that's what everyone wants. Even when you're in the dark and you say, fuck off, but in your back, you want connection, you want love, you want to be connected.
Yeah, beautiful, mate.
That
So,
reminds me of something that Gary says all the time.
what
Every action is either love or a call for love.
Yes, beautiful. Just say that again. I'm going to write that one down as one of my takeaways, Veronica.
This is why when I listen to Gary's 2-hour recordings, I take like 3 hours because I got to stop and type it all out. Every action is either love or a call for love.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. I'm just so when I'm typing away, I'm literally taking notes. I'm a notes guy, and unfortunately, because we've got to be conscious of the amount of weight that we are having in the caravan and the car, I've got to do everything online. So there's no notepads anymore. Everything's all going to be on online docs. So that's super powerful. I love that one. Every action is either love or a call for love. Fantastic. So when would those words came up, and we all know that those of us who have dived in deeper, especially around growth work, know that words carry vibration, frequency. So collaboration, freedom, growth, content, dreams, adventure, commit, gratitude, connection, uniteness, and Neil said united. So somebody mentioned before around Noble Gorman in particular, and I'm not sure who it was, but they said around shifting from the me. So we've got that focus of a lot of us are looking for what's in it for me, what's the gain for me, especially in this walk of life. Well, when we start looking outside of ourselves, and I'm not coming from a place of disempowering and needing external things to validate us or to fill our cup, whatever it would be. But when we start looking outside and go, hey, what is it that I can provide? What is it that I can do to help somebody else move forward on their journey? We start shifting into the us. We start looking for like-minded people, and there's no coincidence, and I don't believe in coincidences anyway, but there's no coincidence why we're all here on this call having a conversation, and there's people here in the Facebook community communicating through as well. Why we're all here right now, creating that level of connection, knowing that every single one of those words, would we agree? And if anybody disagrees, please feel free, because no judgment at all. But would anybody, or do we agree that those words that were shared from different people also resonate with us as individuals as well? Super, super powerful and deep, I find on my behalf. Therefore, I know that the people I'm hanging around with right now who are sharing those words, one word that sums up those areas, is truly aligned with who I am. Therefore, there's no other feeling that I can have than sheer joy and love and appreciation inside of me for me choosing to show up right here, to be here, but also for all of you choosing to show up to help create this energy that we're all in it right now. So this goes back to what I read to you earlier on around the power of the mastermind. The mastermind may be defined as coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. If our goal or our vision is to achieve the words that we said, and we are in a state of living them, whether that be in a small state or a large state, by us coming together and having these conversations, we truly are creating what's known as, or described by Napoleon, as a mastermind. Does anybody want to elaborate on what's coming up for them there, or share, or anything that's happening for them right now? Because I feel super high here. I haven't smoked anything. I feel super high.
For me, without the, if I hadn't have been a part of this, my growth would never have been as much as it has been in the last, I think I started, end of November, I think, Martin, somewhere around there. You know, I mean, I look back on, I was doing a bit of cleaning up last month, and you know, looking through, and I found a pile of paperwork, and I've been on this journey now for 15 years. And it sort of, at first it broke my heart, because I'm like, oh my God, I haven't really made that much progress. But I have. But the progress I've made since joining this, because of the fact that you're supported by so many people, you know, there's so much great information coming out. But it just gives you so many more aha moments, and that confidence to go out there and give life a go and do the work. It's easy to read about it, it's harder to do it, but this, for some reason, makes it more accountable, because you're not just letting, you know, it's not just about you, it's about everyone. You know, we're helping each other grow.
Yeah, beautifully shared there, Diane. Thank you. Wolfgang.
Well, for me, it started in November with Mastermind, and very soon this reading with Samantha, and these readings every morning make me so, I'm appreciating that so much, that, you know, she's there in time. So, you know, this accountability, I feel so much respect and seen. And actually through these masterminds and these readings, I start every meeting enjoying more, really enjoying that the person is there, being my mirror, taking time for spending time with me, and me spending time with this person. So actually every meeting starts to become a mastermind in this new mindset. And this is just a beautiful thing. And of course that attracts flow of people who want to attend and join in things we are doing, I'm doing. So everything becomes really one. So I'm breathing teacher. My breathing is not only breathing anymore, it's part of Noble Goldman. So I really see, and it really spins my mind, because it's something completely new. Where I'm coming from, it was, I'm the trainer, I'm doing that, and also it's my income. And now everything really starts melting up and becoming one. It's about that everyone is fine and not me. When you are not fine and I'm fine, I cannot be happy. So my happiness is built that I'm fine, but you're also fine. Otherwise, I think about what do I need to do to support your space. Otherwise, we cannot enjoy each other. So this is going on in the moment.
Yeah, beautiful. That's powerful. That ability to give. Sammy.
So for me, like last year, I started embarking on this journey on changing my mindset, and things just, it was so weird and wonderful and magical, like how things change in my life, and how things are growing and things are happening for me, and I'm connecting more. Like I wasn't connecting, like I was connecting on a superficial level before this, and now I'm really seeing people. And I wasn't giving my service either. I was just like you said today, like I heard what you said today about I wasn't living, I was just existing. And now I'm finally living, and I see you all. I appreciate you all for being here and being my support. And also, like, this is life changing for me. I feel like I'm living finally.
Yeah, wonderful. Wow, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing, Sammy. And that's definitely, I've shared this in other videos, and especially before I went through the journey of the depression and the suicide idealization and stuff, was that I've actually got a guy that I got to know, a bioresonance therapist. Him and I became very, very good friends, and he's an incredible guy from Slovenia. And he was sharing more. He does a lot of different modalities. And we had some really deep conversations as friends, so out of his practice and stuff. And I caught up with him recently, and he was diving into some things. And I said, do you know what, Zoran? When I look back, I remember my friends saying to me, wow, your life is incredible. You've got all these things. You live in Australia. You're 5 minutes from the beach. You live in the western suburbs, the place to be. And you've got an incredible fiance and so on. And I did have all those things that at that time in my life made me happy, I thought. But it was only when I went through the stage or the phase of the cracking. That's the only way to describe it in the words that are coming up right now. The cracking and the breaking and the releasing out. So one of the beautiful things that I heard Jim Carrey say around depression is deep rest. The deep rest of who you truly are and not letting that come out and shine and speak up. So the cracking had to take place for Martin to truly be born, to be rebirthed, if you will. And I was saying this to him and said, it was only through that intense amount of pain and pressure did I awaken to the fact that I was existing in my life. I truly wasn't living it the way that I chose to come into this physical world to live it. But I needed to go through it to be awakened to the fact of what I was doing and therefore make the changes necessary to move in the direction that I wanted to move. And what's been really interesting through that whole phase is when I reflected back on my past, everything was always from a space of Martin needs external love. Martin needs all these things to make him feel loved, to make him feel happy. And I realized how truly disconnected I was to myself. And that goes right back to what you just said then, Sammy, that existing, that just getting through life. Is that really why I chose to come here? Is that what I chose to do, to just exist and just to get through to the time when I move on? And that ability to awaken to that and realize that, hey, I have so much value that can be shared through the world, not from a place of the applause, but from a place of the cause that I came here for, the cause that's needed in the world today. Do I have all the answers? No, but do I have an answer for somebody that they need right now? 100%. And that difference of not sitting back there in the dark, stepping forward and saying, hey, this is me, this is my message. It isn't for everybody to go and like on Facebook and share and comment, but you know what? If it touches you today and you don't say anything, what a gift it's been for me to be able to share that, and the gratitude that I've got for the ability to have the platform to do so, the physical presence and being to be able to do so through the power of voice. And for you to be able to hear that message so you can move forward on your life. What a gift and what a reason for being here. That's where I'm at right now in my life. That's meaning, that's purpose, that's fulfillment for me. Powerful. Carly.
I love that. And the power of the voice, because that is also our connection, back to my word, just the power of our voice, like the sound of our voice, the tone or the volume of our voice can create an instant connection when it's spoken from our heart. That creates a connection that could be instant and for life. That's how powerful our voice is.
Yeah.
When it's spoken from the heart.
Beautiful share, Carly. Thank you. Anything coming up for anybody else they'd like to share there? We've got a few comments that have come through. Neil says, yes, not from ego. And when people see you with your heart open, it's truly powerful message. My mother says, I love you, Martin. Lots of kisses, lots of kisses. Wow, you have brought a tear to my eye, Martin. Thanks for the reminder. You're very welcome. Lynette, we got bogged down and somehow it gets too hard to live a life we truly want. Yeah, what was that? Yes, you start to understand, if I can do it, then everyone can do it in their own way. You create this power of love and feeling to share your message. So good. So good. So much value being experienced here, and from people in the Facebook group. which is fantastic to see. And that's why one of the things that really, and it's a choice for me to feel this way, I feel like people are missing out, and I get upset about it because a lot of people hear the word mastermind and they instantly put it in, oh, it's a business thing. And it really isn't. It really, and it doesn't have to be. Yes, we can create a mastermind solely around business. We can create a mastermind solely around life. We can create a mastermind around anything. And when I read those words from Napoleon again today, it was really interesting how I was introduced to those words through business. And yet, how I heard them and felt them when I read them today, it was in a completely different state. So there was no perception, there was no assumption. It was, what am I feeling right now? What do I feel that from a facilitator's point in this call that can help really us all expand and create what our vision is for this meaning of what I shared earlier on. And it was just so powerful and beautiful to hear your words. You know, that one word, and then you expanding on it. Why? So, you know, I think one of the biggest, the key things that we can do is ask ourselves why, and be like a child. Well, why is that coming up? Why is that the word for me? And dive deeper into it and create that state of meaning. One of the beautiful things in the free section of Noble Goldman is the ability to create your life purpose. Knowing that, as they say, it's just a lighthouse to guide you. It's not in the rocks, it's not solid. But to go, well, why is it that I want to achieve that? Why is it that I want to do that? Am I saying it from a place of ego, as in dominating and powerful, and that's what everybody else wants to hear? Or am I saying it from a place of the heart? And am I able to connect with that on that depth? Or am I staying up here and trying to be logic and trying to process it all and go, oh, well, what's my mum? What's Graham going to think of this when I tell them that? Or when somebody who I don't know says, hey, what do you do? What's your vision? What's your mission? They have to go, wow, that's cool. From a place of, oh, you know, my goals, because the guys that we used to hang around, yachts, Lamborghini, mansion, I couldn't even think about owning them right now. And it's no judgment to somebody that's what they want to achieve. But that wasn't who I was. I was living my values in accordance with somebody else because it sounded cool, not because it filled my heart. And that's that thing of existing and truly living. That 18-inch journey down here to the heart, that beautiful journey. And that is helped. That path that we walk is helped by being around and putting ourselves in situations where we're surrounded by like-minded people. And how many people choose to continue to sit on that conveyor belt going round and round and round and walking in life doing figure eights, saying to themselves, it's too hard. This is the cards I've been dealt. I don't know those people. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. That is a self-worth issue, and is the exact reason why somebody needs to be on this call, why somebody needs to be leveraging the tools of Noble Goldman, those tools that have been created to help us all win at the game of life, instead of living in a state where, in all fairness, in many cases, people even aren't showing up, putting the shorts on and running out there with the bat ready to hit the ball and play the bloody game of life. That's what was coming up for me before this call, and I thought, you know what? I know that there's going to be some incredible value that's shared today. And already we've still got another 10 minutes before we hit the hour mark. Diane.
I know for me, you know, I was saying before about, you know, I'm being on this journey for 15 years. But without this community, without this masterminding, it's too easy for me to fall back into normal life because no one else around me needs me to change. I'm the only one that feels that deep in my heart that I'm made for something more. But my family are happy with who I am as a person and really are probably scared of me growing to a degree. You know, what's that going to look like? But because I can come to these calls and because I can feel supported and because I can get so much value out of them, it is the driver to keep me going. It's my support that I need that I don't have on the external side.
Yeah, wow. Thank you for sharing, Diane. That truly resonated with me. Veronica?
Yeah, that's so true, Diane. And I'm thinking about what Wolfgang said before about how every conversation can be a mastermind now. It just feels like that connection. And when I first started personal development, I would come home on a high. I was so excited. My language was different. But then you come home to your dynamic of whatever that is at home, and they drag you straight back down with a great big crash. And to be able to have this consistent conversation with people who are on the same journey just keeps the energy up, but also allows me to accept where people are on their journey and to bring my energy, withdraw it a bit because it can be a bit overwhelming. So yeah, it's very powerful. Just continuous, consistent conversations like this.
Yeah, and something that reminded me of a thing I heard from Bob Proctor that you highlighted there, Diane, was Bob had said, your family members and your closest friends want you to succeed, but they don't want you to succeed without them. And the only way you can succeed is by getting away from them, because they want to keep you in the happy bubble that they're in. And it's not a case of cutting the cord from them, but it's a case of, as you said there, finding the group of people who can help elevate you and take you where you need to get to. Because I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that every single person on this call wants to see you climb that mountain and reach the top. Whatever that mountain looks like for you, whatever the view at the top looks like, it's not about that we're all going to have the same goal, but we're all going to be stood at the top of the mountain knowing that we've achieved it together and supported each other and helped each other and held each other's hands at times and maybe even carried each other. But we have to show up. We have to be on that mountain still walking to be able to be carried, because the rest of us are going one way. And if you don't accept that helping hand, you're going the other way. Wolfgang.
Yeah, I wanted to share. I feel we live in such an amazing times. Just imagine that something like we have today would have happened 15 years ago. There wouldn't have been Zoom. You would have had maybe, I don't know, some possibilities, but it wouldn't have been possible like it is today. And what I see really, Corona is more a support than a burden. It brings people in the necessity to care about themselves because they're locked down at home. That's a political topic. If it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. At the end, people who are, we live a completely normal life. I hardly wear the mask in the last year because we disconnected from our family, exactly as you said. We live on our own in the countryside, in nature. So we made the process people are doing now out of our own decision 6-7 years ago. And so this Corona is really forcing people to have a look what they actually need, to find out that they want to be connected. And I think it will have a massive impact on the families and on the friends eventually. And my personal opinion is Corona won't go away until that is achieved. And that's interesting. I have a friend, he's shaman, and I made a work about viruses 3 years ago. And you know the reason why a virus is here? A virus is here for the only reason it shows us something has to be stopped and something else has to be started. And my personal feeling, the way I see our situation, we have to stop some things the way we do it today. And that is why we have Corona, why this virus is so present. And it just connects to something what I learned 3 years ago before I went on my personal journey. So I really see a very exciting, thrilling time. And I think it's really about the perspective. And a lot of people are in fear, and I'm not compassionate. I understand them. But I'm not compassionate because it's their thing to change their position and to learn and to stop something what they don't need and to start something. And yes, and I'm very grateful because it makes this connection possible. Everybody is open to Zoom. Everybody's open to online. I personally, 3 years ago, I wouldn't have done that. I would have said, leave me alone with social media. I disconnected from social media and I completely learned a new way of using social. It's not about social media, it's about how we use it. And I think that makes a big change in our humanity, and I look forward to it.
Beautiful share, mate. And that also expands outside of the social media stuff, because we then start looking at a deeper part of it. What is the intention behind what I'm doing? What is the intention behind me using this? Even when I started creating the masterminds, it was always, what's my intention behind it before I even do it? And that way, that's going to attract the right people onto the call. I don't, with all due respect, I don't tend to have anybody who's coming on anymore or at all that came on to take. People are coming on to give, because the intention behind was to give value and to receive value, which opened the door for you beautiful souls to be on. And I love the way you worded all of that, Wolfgang, because we are to take our ownership of our own actions, our own thoughts. And a great movie that I absolutely love watching, I don't watch it as often because of the length of it, but I literally watched it last week, is Avatar. You know, and that value of connection to Mother Earth and going in deeper, and you look at like the high corporate structure, and it was all about the shares and the money, and even him going there to report to his corporal or sergeant or whatever, and he shifted. He went through this process of shifting and realizing, and then get into that point of, I see you. I didn't see you before. It was just this thing, but now I see beyond all this material stuff. I see beyond all this power. I see the true power in the connection, in connecting to self and connecting to others. And even when and I know it's a movie, but there's a powerful message in it. But even when you look at the tribe, you know, the actual indigenous tribe, they all love and support each other. You see it in the movie, and these are all the things you start to see more of when you become more aware of it in your own life and what you want for your own life. You start to see these messages on a deeper scale. And I was watching, even though once again, it's an animation movie and so on, I was watching these groups, and none of them were arguing, none of them were bickering. They were all supporting each other. When the home tree came down, they were all supporting and loving each other and being in that space and praying and holding each other. And I'm thinking, we have the ability to do that on a bigger scale than we could ever imagine. But there's also got to be the people that choose not to do it, because they help us realize that what we want to do. They are our teachers. We are the student in that moment. And some of us choose to attack them, and some of us choose to step back and go, thank you for being the mentor, the coach, the teacher that I needed right then and there, because it's given me the opportunity now to think and make a choice on where I want to go. What a gift of that person showing up in that way. Whereas the old Martin would have been like, hey, what the hell are you doing? Get over here, and blah, blah, blah. That wouldn't have been of service to myself, a service to them. It's amazing how that shifts, even with lockdown. A friend of mine was mocking people because she's like, you shouldn't be wearing masks. You don't need all of that stuff. It's not real. And that's fine. That's where she's at. There's also people that say you should wear masks and it is real and so on. That's fine. But she was choosing to attack people who were walking past the park wearing a mask. And I'm like, do you really want to come from a place of judgment and attacking another human being? Or do you want to come from a place of love and go, that's their choice? If they choose to do that, that's their choice. And she was like, I didn't even think of it like that. I said, well, that's how I want to behave in my life. I don't want to make a judgment on what somebody else chooses to do, because who am I to make that judgment? And would I like to be judged? The answer is no. So don't do it to somebody else, which then takes us to the movie The Shack. And if you've not watched The Shack, oh, wow. Watch the movie The Shack. That is incredible. Sam Worthington again. Oh, another level altogether. Has anybody seen The Shack? Oh, talk about deep, incredible movie. Yeah, there'll be tears right from the start. I cried all the way home from Brisbane. And the stewardess came over and she went, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm perfectly fine. This movie's just got me." Right from the start. Cried the whole way. So, look, we've come to the hour mark. Is there anything anybody would like to share before we wrap up? No?
What was that? Sorry, so what was that last movie you were talking about? I had a Rottweiler trying to eat someone.
Oh, right, okay. The Shack, SHACK, as in a shack in the woods. The Shack.
I think I've seen it or I've heard about it. Thanks.
Oh, incredible movie. Yeah, it's about connecting back with self. Yeah.
Yeah, I must go and watch. I think I've seen it or I've heard about it. Yeah.
Oh, it's just phenomenal. So there's so many lessons in that one. Yeah, I'm a crybaby. I know there's comments coming up here about how weak I am and soft I am from a place of love, obviously. So thank you, each and every single one of you, for your time, your commitment, your ability to just show up and be present for each of the members on the call, as well as the people who have been sharing in the comments section as well. It's always great to include everybody. Some people just can't be able to be present with us on the call, and we know that's what we're about, is being present for each other. So as always, go into the Your Desired Success Facebook group, add your 3 biggest takeaways you received from this call. It's always great to go through them and see what the different things we got. And for those of us who are Gold Star members, in the next 30 minutes, we've got our Gold Star Noble Goldman call, which the link is in the private chat group. So thank you once again. And I look forward to seeing you all next Thursday evening for me.
Thanks, everyone. It was a great meeting. Great mastermind.
Awesome.
Thank
It
you.
certainly was.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.